The Prisoners of Dulce Base by Sherry Schreiner. I wanted to do something on the Dulce underground base in New Mexico, and I haven't worked up the nerve to do Thomas Costello's report. So I typed in Dulce and cages, those two words, on the Google Advanced Search. And I found this page, Alien Nation, the Watcher Files. There's the URL at the bottom if you want to go there. And they have this article by Sherry Schreiner. I'd like to read it to you. It's an old article, but it really applies to this day. And it was amazing how much she knew back then. Because when she wrote this, I knew nothing about this. I must have learned it at around 2005 or 2006. When I read the Thomas Costello report, I was horrified. And she covers a lot of what's in that report, but she's a good writer. It's not done as an interview where you have people asking questions and there's no direction at all, and it wanders all over the place, and the obvious questions are not answered, and it's annoying more than informing. The Thomas Costello interview is very informative, but it is an interview and leaves a lot to be desired. When someone sits down with a pen and they start writing, or a typewriter, and they put it down on paper or on the computer, and then they review it, and they reorganize it, and they rewrite it, and they add more, and they subtract, and they look at it as a flow of information. Does it make sense? Does one idea flow into the next idea? You get a much more interesting story to tell if you're reading someone's story. Well, she's reporting apparently visions that she had. She attributes those visions to God. She doesn't call them visions. She just says, the Lord showed me, and I don't know what that means. Probably means that she likes to do research, and she found it, and she read it, and she collected it, as all of us are doing. We're trying to learn more about these aliens. Which ones are good, which ones are bad, which ones are going to give us cures for cancer and free energy devices, which ones are going to free us from the slavery, and which ones are behind the slavery. Well, the story she tells is so accurate according to what I know and what I've read, and I'm reading a book a day, that I wanted to read this to you because here it is in one video. I can give you a very good background in the Dulce base and other related information. So let's get on with it. The Prisoners of Dulce Base by Sherry Schreiner, and she has her webpage here. Remember, this was written during the George Bush administration. She starts out by saying there are two governments occupying the United States of America today. And I had just learned this in the last few years. I suspected it, but it never came to fruition in my mind. She says, first there's the traditional government established by our founding fathers, founded upon the Constitution and an elected government. And then there's the fascist Bavarian Illuminati-backed underground or shadow government led by the corporate military-industrial government, which is fighting against traditional America on its own soil. In other words, the two sectors are the Judeo-Christian-based Constitutional Republic of America and the Luciferian cult-based Socialist Empire of Bavaria, known as the Bavarians or the Illuminati. Now, she's writing this from a position where we still had a constitution. Today, nobody would write such a paragraph because the Constitution no longer exists, according to the way Obama is operating. She writes, perhaps as early as 1776, a gradual coup d'etat has been underway by Illuminati secret societies to undermine, overpower, and take over the traditional form of government in America and establish a fascist, Luciferian dictatorship working under the guise of a New World Order. Over the past 70 years, since 1933, this New World Order shadow government, funded by American tax dollars and illegal drugs and weapons trades, has been developed and implemented alongside our normal government, but kept hidden and out of public view by a controlled media and their trained assassins. There is an inevitable war waiting between the elected surface government and those who will fight to defend it, and the underground, joint humanoid, reptilian, draconian New World Order, if freedom is to be preserved. Over the last 40 years, the New World Order has successfully taken over the elections process to guarantee one of their followers is always elected as president. The American public has been deceived. and played as fools by those who wish to destroy them from within. This joint alien-human domination is almost complete. It is this joint alien-human government that has covertly undermined our elections process, lied to the American people, and have served as presidents, and many of our congressmen since the 1970s. Secret societies rule our government. Not one president has been elected for the past 30 years that was not a member of the Council of Foreign Relations and Trilateral Commission run by the Illuminati. The insignia of the Trilateral Commission is the same insignia seen on alien aircraft. It is the fascist core of the NSA and CIA that has been the Illuminati's arm of control and protection here in America. It is this core who protect information about these bases and the alien aspect of the shadow government from being exposed. It is this core that is the direct link, not only to the aliens who direct behind the scenes, but the Vatican itself that sits on top of it all. Not the Pope himself, but the Black Pope position. The real power in the Vatican that is hidden behind the White Pope and is virtually the seat of Lucifer himself. The Draconians, dragons of which Satan is, run by the Vatican, and the Illuminati, and they rule this alien human empire via Lucifer from the Vatican. It is the NSA whose personnel reportedly pilot the black budget UFOs between the Luna Alternative 3 base on Mars and the Dreamland base in Area 51, Nevada. It is the NSA and the CIA who operate their own UFO fleets in our skies at night, both alongside and in opposition to alien craft. The question isn't, do UFOs exist, but who is flying them? There are many secret underground facilities, such as the Los Alamos base that provides an underground garage for the human American UFO fleets located in Los Alamos, New Mexico. Even so, it is the Archuleta Mesa that is considered as the capital of the alien segment of the secret Bavarian Draconian Illuminati alien New World Order government in America, while the Denver International Airport is the capital of the human segment of the secret New World Order government. In many underground bases, these aliens and humans work alongside each other. However, the Lord has shown me that these humans who have agreed to work with the aliens have been taken over by them and are controlled by them. The humans have been possessed by the aliens and assimilated into the alien collective that is controlled and manipulated by Lucifer himself. That makes sense. Our leaders cannot be that bad. They have to be possessed, and I mean hypnotized. Now she's talking about an actual possession where they kick out the soul and they take over the body. Continuing, when our government officials first made contact with these aliens and started signing treaties with them, the process was underway for total Luciferian control of our government through the backdoor shadow government. She wrote this almost 10 years ago, and I find she was prophetic. Continuing, our government, naive to the tactics and strategies of the devil, gave him permission to indirectly work through his alien forces to work with our government and military officials, thus unknowingly allowing for the eventual possession and soul scalping of all those who had come in contact with these aliens. Secret societies and occultic groups that have existed since the beginning of time under different names, all established to worship Satan and enslave those involved to Lucifer, have come into almost complete domination in these last days of almost every government in the world. Only high-ranking Freemasons, Scottish Rite, and other societies under the umbrella of Luciferian control have been allowed into positions of gaining security clearance to even come in contact with these aliens. Even at the lower ranking levels of these societies, the members are required to acknowledge allegiance to Lucifer as the god of light or God of this world, or whatever other deceptive verbiage they are required to recite as an oath. And this is what gives Lucifer's demons and aliens permission to possess and control these humans. The dark side and forces of evil operate on a permission basis. When someone takes an oath to Satan, no matter how deceived they are about the kind of oath they are taking, they are giving him permission to enter, demonize, and possess them. Secret societies that require oaths to join them are of the devil. Making oaths to the dark side allows the demonic to possess those in them, and when they are physically dead, Satan will possess their souls forever. Ooh. In the meantime, they can be soul scalped and replaced by aliens or demons who then take over their bodies. This shadow government running alongside ours is controlled by these secret societies. The Council of Foreign Relations and the Trilateral Commission are, in reality, secret societies because, in order to be accepted as a member in either one of them, one has to be a Mason or member of one of the other Lucifer-controlled societies. At this level, this allows the aliens to take complete bodily possession of the humans involved with them. And this is one of the areas where the shape-shifting phenomena comes from. For those involved with the shadow government and the secret societies, first they lose their autonomy and individuality as human beings, then they lose their bodies, and eventually their souls. Many have been soul scalped and replaced by aliens themselves who now inhabit their bodies permanently. There is evidence of an agreement called the 100 Treaty that began in 1933 by Franklin Roosevelt between the aliens and government of the United States. It was shortly after agreement started taking place that the alien infestation of our government and elected offices started taking place. When you go to bed with the devil, you're not going to come out of it looking like an angel. The science fiction movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind was sold to the public as the first contact we had with aliens. Of course, created in fiction format so no one would believe it. But in reality, contact had been made in 1933. It could have been earlier than this, but if there was contact, it's been kept well hidden. We know there are many underground bases, practically underground cities, that are kept well hidden and out of public view that sprang up as a result of having alien contact and making treaties with them. These treaties called for joint bases to be built for the exchange of technology with aliens. Our scientists and experts worked side by side with aliens and taught the new forms of technology that had been agreed upon. For instance, our government allows the aliens to mutilate animals and kidnap humans in exchange for anti-gravity technology, microchips, lasers, free energy, and more. In exchange, those corrupt leaders agreed to deny their existence, cover up their crashed UFOs, lie about human abductions and animal mutilations, and keep a lid on an alien presence in this country. While these aliens mutilated animals for body parts and abducted humans for experiments, hybridization, soul scalping, chip implantation, mind control programming, dreamscape manipulation, genetic engineering experiments, crossbreeding, cloning, harvesting for body parts, and using humans for food. Meanwhile, our government looks the other way and protects them while they are doing it, and this still happens today. At the same time, while the aliens have been implementing their hideous agenda onto us and worldwide, our shadow government has been taught the same technology and has been implementing it on us themselves, such as chip implantation, mind control programming, dreamscape manipulation, genetic experimentation, super soldier, cloning, and global tracking and control. And I might add, soon they will be eating us. Our own species will be eating us. Continuing, we have also learned anti-gravity research and literally have our own UFO fleets that are built underground, tested at Area 51, painted at Area 52, and stored at Los Alamos, among other bases. Some of the different security forces that protect and guard these bases include the Delta Force, Black Berets, Air Force Blue Berets, Secret Service, FBI Division 5, CIA Stormtroopers, and the base's own security and the base's own special security themselves. It has been alleged that many involved with these security divisions have been soul scalped or programmed to keep them under the control of the alien shadow government. I want to focus attention here on the Dulce base. Perhaps later the Lord will lead me to expose the others, but for now this base has been brought to my attention by Him, and it would be dereliction of my duty to not bring more attention to it, where it is, and what it is. My information comes from the Most High God Himself, who has given me spiritual visions about these bases, along with reports gathered and written by William Cooper, Philip Schneider, Thomas Costello, Branton, and others, who risked their lives to bring information on these underground bases public. William Cooper and Philip Schneider were killed, and Thomas Costello is allegedly dead as well. Many others, such as Branton, now a good friend of mine, has suffered through attempted assassinations or are constantly monitored and watched as a result of bringing public awareness to these underground bases. The Dulce base. This joint CIA human-alien base is located under the Archuleta Mesa in Dulce, New Mexico, close to the Colorado border and situated on the Jicarilla Apache Indian Reservation. The Dulce base is approximately 2.5 miles northwest of Dulce and a town located off US 64 with a population of approximately 900 to 1,700 people. Dulce is a small town with one motel and a gas station, but underneath the surface of the entire area lies a vast complex and network of bases and shuttle systems that crisscross through the entire country. Dulce is the central hub. The Dulce base is more technically known as the Biogenics Laboratory, including but by no means limited to atomic manipulation, cloning, human psychic research, advanced mind control, animal-human crossbreeding, visual and audio chip implantation, and the abduction and feeding off of humans, including children. It is the second largest reptilian and gray base in North America, yet it is the central hub for all the underground bases. The largest base is located by Taos, New Mexico. The Dulce base was built on top of deep caverns that extend for hundreds of miles underground. There are 7 levels of the Dulce base that are known of. The caverns underneath are off limits, and even most of the levels themselves are not accessible without strict security clearance to those who qualify to be on them. The first 3 levels contain government offices and a garage for street maintenance. The base itself is as large as the city of Manhattan. Yes, they have roads and electric vehicles to drive. The second level contains offices and a garage for trains, shuttles, tunnel boring machines, and UFO maintenance. The third level is mostly government offices. The fourth level of the Dulce base conducts research and experiments on the human psyche, dream manipulation, hypnosis, and telepathy. All aspects of mind control programming take place here as well. Witnesses have described huge vats containing amber liquid with human body parts on the 5th level that are constantly stirred by a robotic arm. Rows and rows, thousands of cages have also been seen holding men, women, and children to be used as food and put into these vats for the aliens. The 6th level is called Nightmare Hall. It contains the genetic labs, and this is where the crossbreeding experiments of humans and animals are conducted. People have reported seeing fish, seals, birds, and mice that are vastly altered from their original creations. There are multi-armed and multi-legged humans and several cages and vats of humanoid bat-like creatures up to 7 feet tall. 7-foot-tall humans with wings and bat-like features. On the 7th level are thousands and thousands of humans in cold storage, including children. These last few floors are the ones that the Lord has brought to my particular attention. How? In their insane desire to have human bodies as their own, aliens have perfected the ability to take a person's soul out of their body and put it elsewhere. This gives them access to a human body devoid of a soul. The body is a shell, a carcass, and they can take over and possess this body and use it for themselves. This is termed as walking in. There are two types of walk-ins. Aliens can walk in and possess a live human body and or a dead human, or in this instance a live human who had their soul removed and then their body was taken over and walked in by an alien. I've heard that Obama is a walk-in, and it doesn't surprise me by the way he behaves. What happens to the souls? What is a soul? A soul is what makes you, you. We are souls, and our bodies are just shells that cover our souls. Can we exist outside of our bodies? Yes, as a spirit in spirit form. The aliens are kidnapping humans and taking out their souls and then putting in souls in storage containers, even boxes, and then taking over the human bodies as their own. Horrifying. The person who was abducted and kidnapped is not dead. They are still alive, but now as a soul they are trapped in that container or storage box they were put into. They become prisoners imprisoned in these storage containers with no way out. This is what the Lord has shown me, and this can be verified by others who have leaked out information about these bases. And if people today who work at these bases would come forward as whistleblowers, we might be able to stop this once and for all and demand a congressional investigation. Most congressmen and congresswomen don't even know that these bases exist. We need to free these people and bomb these bases out of existence. If they have advanced mind control, do you really think they haven't already taken over Congress? If Congress voted to continue the Patriot Act, you think they have any sensibility at all? We need to dispose of Congress. Get away from the representative style of government. We need to represent ourselves. This idea of bringing this before Congress as if you still trust Congress. Maybe Congress was trustworthy back then when she wrote this. But I think it's a bizarre idea today to trust Obama or Congress about anything. We are not ignorant now as to what is going on. We know now. You are reading this, and now you are one more person who knows. And it's up to us to do something about it. And I suppose she means we need to tell everybody to read this. We need to post this and get 10 people a day to watch it. Back to the script. It's time to start screaming and not stop screaming until every last person is released as a prisoner from this base and others like it. Well, there's one in Miami also just like it. Pray for the release of these souls. I think we have to do more than pray. We've got to tell other people. We've got to get the public informed about this. There is power in prayer, and through prayer these souls that are being imprisoned can be released and sent to the Lord or just set free from the imprisonment. Hundreds of thousands of children and adults disappear every year in this country alone. Our government and media cover it up by underreporting the true numbers of those who disappear. Not reporting it all, making it seem like they are just various cases of runaways or a spouse leaving with children. Many of these people who disappear end up in these underground bases to never be heard from again. Terrible. The Center for Missing and Exploited Children is run by the government for spin control. Estimates that 300,000 children are missing each year. This number could be much, much higher and probably is. Over 10 years, now when you multiply by 10, you add 1 0. 300,000 times 10 is how much? 3 million. But she does it a different way and gets 30 million. Over 10 years, that's 30 million children. No, that's 3 million children. But it's still a lot of food and harvested bodies for aliens, don't you think? Over 30 years, that's 90 million. No, that's 9 million. But still, 9 million children that wind up in the hands of aliens who eat them or do other things to them is unacceptable. And our government will kill people to keep it quiet rather than keep it from happening. Why? Because in exchange for their silence, the aliens give them technology. That's a fact. What technology since the 1950s has been worth over, let's use the right number, 12 million lives, mostly children. LASIK, surgery, laser beams, computers, the microchip, microwave, almost all of our advances in electronics and human chip implantation have come from the aliens. Do we need them? Many inventions by our own scientists and inventors have been confiscated by the government and then the person thrown in jail or prison to keep them from protesting. Free energy, cures for cancers, and even AIDS were found as far as 30 years ago, but the government confiscated and confiscates the inventions and patents and has killed the scientists and the inventors themselves. They don't want cures when the dying industry is a big business. They don't want to heal you. Their purpose is to kill you. AIDS was designed by them to begin with and to target and kill off undesirable populations with predisposed types of DNA. Depopulation is a big part of the Illuminati New World Order agenda, and they don't want you to have free energy when they're making billions of dollars making you pay for it. Under the New World Order, mankind serves as nothing but slaves if they're not being used as alien food. We pay for them to exist in the underground mansions they've built for them with our tax dollars. We have built them a worldwide underground super tube shuttle system. They can travel underground to almost anywhere in the world at speeds we can't even imagine on the surface Earth. Think about these things when you hear the term New World Order and or shadow government. When George Bush Sr. first publicly announced the creation of the New World Order on September 11th, 1991, he was in effect publicly announcing an alien takeover of our nation and the replacement of our republic and constitution with a Luciferian and alien dominant government. That is exactly right. Now, do you still believe the lies that he was a Christian? Who is currently our president? His stupid son. Both are steeped into secret societies and the Bavarian Skull and Bones Society. They lied to you. The government is lying every day to us about who and what they really are. Amen, sister. It's time to take our country back. How? Our presidential election process has been ruled by the Bavarians, humans possessed and controlled by aliens, since Kennedy was assassinated for refusing not to go along with them. The controllers of this shadow government are literally feeding off our people. They're working behind the scenes of our elected government to present to the public the lie that we still have an elected government, although they've been controlling the top offices for years through alien-dominated humans. I agree. The aliens who stay behind the scenes, known as the controllers, that you don't see, are the ones directing and controlling the underground alien empire we've built for them. They are the ones directing the chip implantation of the entire nation via vaccinations, flu shots, etc., and the infestation and assimilation of aliens into our society as hybrids, soul-scalped humans, and clones. And they assassinate and target people who dare expose them. I serve the Most High God, and I'm not afraid of them. May Jehovah the Most High be exalted, and our nation turned back to Him so He can lead us of the grip and hands of the Bavarians. If America chooses to ignore it, stay in sleep and do nothing, our demise is assured. Thousands and thousands of people are being held captive in cages like animals at the Dulce base. Even more thousands are being kept in cold storage, and even more trapped in storage boxes with no way out. Dulce base is on our soil. It's time to bring more awareness about what this base is, where it is, and get something done about this huge network of alien underground bases. They must be destroyed. We are at war, folks. If the humans of this country don't stand up against the evil that is dominating us, we will be annihilated by them. It's not if, but when. Aliens are taking over our country, and when the veil is lifted, you will start to see them more and more. Shape-shifting will become a common sight. It almost already is to those in top political circles, but not the Capitol Hill revolving door politicians as much as those who are made for life in Congress and will never lose their seats because they're part of the Bavarians. Those elected into the White House are Bavarians along with their entire cabinets. Seek the Lord as to what he would have you to do. I don't think the Lord is going to help you. I think you better do it on your own. Tell 10 every day. Get a YouTube channel and post some videos that inform people. See how many views you get each day. If you're getting 10 a day, you're okay. To finish up, last sentence, but most importantly, pray for this nation and for the captives of Dulce Base and the others just like it to be set free.